Hello everybody and welcome to another third-party review. Thanks to the team over at ShowZ, I finally get around to taking a look at the X-Transbots creator, Dr. Egg. Now this guy's been sitting on my desk for about 2 weeks. I've been struggling with the batteries for him. I finally managed to get the correct batteries that he requires. It's frustrating that the alternatives don't actually work with him. You have to have specific batteries. That in itself is an annoyance and an extra cost, but let's cover the batteries, cover him, and see exactly what we get in this offering from X-Transbots. Taking a look at the contents of the box, we get the Quintesson ship, which doubles up as our remote control. Now we'll just have to point out, before I get all the batteries and everything, when you point this at the Quintesson to make it move, you really have to kind of just aim it directly at this sensor section. Now we get tentacles, which will be added, and then we get our 5 faces of darkness. We get Judgment down with this yellow. Something I think X-Transbots never fail to do is capture the animation likeness. They do an amazing job. Wisdom, gorgeous colors. War, Wrath, and finally Death. Now these do have to be added on in a particular order to allow them all to fit on correctly. Starting with this arrow piece here at the front, you want to add our Wisdom and Death on first. So Wisdom will come around and he will just slide in, and that's going to slide down. Bring in Death and do the same, bring that in, and that will slide down. If you're in any doubt at all, the instructions do tell you to do 2, 5, then 1, 3 and 4, and the numbers are printed just on the back here as well. 1 goes at the front and down. There we go. And finally Wrath. The thing that really got me about this was just how big the thing is. I wasn't expecting it to be anywhere near the size that it is. Right, the LED sensor is here. I will just take the sticker off here now. There we go. Just the sheer size and heft of this set that caught me a bit off guard. You can unscrew the base. This is where the battery's going to live. I tend to find it easier to kind of lay it down so we can stick these tentacle sections in. They're just done on these wire pieces. And just bring those in, slide that up, do that for all 4 tentacles, and you can basically point them in whichever direction you see fit. Now in terms of batteries, although this looks like a AA, AA's will not work. AA's 1.5 volts, I believe. This is a 14500, which is 3.7 volts. It's also a rechargeable one as well. I made a point of getting a rechargeable battery because this guy has a USB power point. It can charge the batteries. If you use a non-rechargeable version of this battery, they can explode. You're overcharging a battery which doesn't accept charge and it will go pop. But the battery slides in like so. Negative faces down and the positive goes up. We can then slide the wires and the battery inside, pushing, turning and locking into position. We can then just adjust these tentacles as we see fit. Let's bring these around. I love how these wires work. Just bring those in any direction we want to. As you can see, there's some buttons just on the underside here. Now before I lock this into position, make sure that the eyes are in the right colour. It says in the instructions which eyes are meant to be which colour. Basically the easiest way, if these don't line up correctly, just lift it up slightly as it goes and it changes the eye colour. For example, War is meant to have orange eyes like so. We can now lock that into position. Now they are all in the correct order. Everything's where it's meant to be. And much like we got with the torso, you have to have the correct batteries for the remote as well, which are L521s, also known as AG0s or 384s. Requires 3 of these batteries, and the plus, which is the flat end, faces down. We can then bring this slides back in like so, and then with the sensor being here, we should be able to go on. And then we go manual. There we go. Oh, I love those voice chips. Give you an idea of his scale. Yeah, these guys are big, aren't they? Oh, I've lost my Saigar for Cup, and it's tiny, isn't it? So I might have to switch the face out for the alternative version, or at least until I get the X-Transbots version in hand and see which one holds up better. But yeah, he's a rather large figure, deceptively so. He is along with the Earthrise version. Slightly different. Slight difference in scaling there. Not a bad figure, especially for the money, the Earthrise version, but this is definitely more the size and detail that I was expecting from a masterpiece Quintesson. And I know the scaling's not exactly perfect, but if you're looking for something to display with your Quintesson ship, then yeah, I think Unicron works quite well. I think in the movie he was like the size of his eye, but still, that works quite well. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the X-Transbots Dr. Egg, aka a masterpiece look, scale and feel version of the Quintessons. It's an expensive piece. Do I think it warrants all of the money? Yes and no. It's a big heavy piece with those electrics in there, but are they essential? Would people have been happy to have this made of plastic, a strong, robust plastic, minus those voice chips and that? Yes, I think maybe they would. Maybe X-Transbots will consider that and release maybe a 3-pack of these minus those voice chips. I'd like to thank ShowZ for making this review possible. I have included a link in the description below where this can be purchased. And until next time, for myself and the rest of the Collectables household, thank you all for watching. Goodbye.